I don't have an attachment to what this show can do for me. I literally participated because of what I believe this opportunity finder can do for others. You're listening to the Redefining Wealth podcast with Patrice Washington. This is the space that you come to each and every week to learn more about what it means to chase purpose, not money. And doing that is what helps you redefine wealth, because you get to look at wealth in a completely different way. Many of us are taught to subscribe to the surface level definition of wealth, which is money and material possessions. But around these parts, we really lean into the original 12th century definition of wealth, which says it's about the condition of well-being. And I'm super excited about this week's episode because it's really, to me, an example of how I continue to chase purpose, not money. What I tell folks all the time is don't say, oh, it's easy for you to say, Patrice, because you already are here. If you remember, I think it was earlier this season or last season, I gave several examples of ways that I have chased purpose, not money, in my career and what the outcomes were. And now I'm in the midst of another one of those opportunities to chase purpose, not money. And it comes in the form of a brand new show that I am featured on called Opportunity Knocks. And I'm super, super excited to share more about that show with you, because I truly believe it'll be a blessing for you or really someone that you know. So before I get into this week's episode, let's do our affirmation of the week.
You know, you gotta speak positivity into your life, into your day. You gotta affirm positivity. You gotta affirm abundance. You gotta affirm yourself to wealth.
This week's affirmation is great opportunities always come my way. I wake up each day expecting new, exciting, and lucrative opportunities to be presented to me. I remain open to the possibilities of my limitless potential. I prepare myself for new opportunities by not clouding my time with fruitless people or activities. I am always ready to take on new projects that produce financial abundance, personal satisfaction, and professional growth. I prepare myself to be in position to receive these opportunities by ensuring that I'm clear about my goals and able and willing to communicate them to the people I choose to surround myself with. Declare with me today, great opportunities always come my way. All right, you guys, I have been waiting for so long to say this. Opportunity Knocks is here. Yes, my brand new show on PBS is here. And what an example of chasing purpose, not money. So I have to tell you guys first a little backstory. For many of you, you know that I've done a lot of media over the years. I've done quite a bit of television since about 2014 is when I first had my shot on national television, but I've been doing TV work for over 10 years. And so when I was on the Steve Harvey show regularly from 2014 to 2018, especially, I got hit up so much, you guys, to do my own show or to be a part of other shows that were financial interventions or money related. And they just never sat right in my spirit. For one reason or another, a lot of the concepts, probably 80-90% of them, just didn't feel in alignment for me. Not that they were awful, but they didn't feel like they were for me. Some of them were a husband, let's say, is going to complain about his wife's spending habits, and then you're going to go undercover and follow her around the mall and, make comments about what she's purchasing and all this. And I'm like, I feel like I would be more of a problem than a solution for anyone. Like that isn't what I really want to do. And then I've had all these other concepts, which I don't even know if I should be sharing these publicly. So I'm just going to stop there. Just know that I've been on many a Zoom calls over the years with people pitching me from different networks on being a part of shows. That is God's honest truth. And I usually sit on the Zoom calls kind of like, here we go again, because I've never felt hard pressed to be on a TV show. I really haven't. I have known over the years that many people will give all their time to filming these shows and it not necessarily pan out to anything. To me, if anything, it could become more of a distraction because I know that I'm really focused on what we do here at the podcast and what I do with my clients. And when I got the call for Opportunity Knocks last year, I kind of thought, okay, here we go again. I'll get on the Zoom call just to hear what it's about. Maybe they'll surprise me. Well, what was supposed to be a 20-minute call just to gauge my interest actually ended up being well over an hour. And I will tell you that tears were shed. I shared my story once they shared the premise for the show. And not only was I crying, everybody on the call, from the creator of the show to the directors and producers and, just people who would be involved, we were all crying because it was so clearly the best possible fit. And it made saying no for so many years so worth it because it wasn't about the money. It was literally about the heart and the spirit of not just the show, but the people who were creating the show, because their intention was truly to be a blessing to everyday people. And so it brings me great joy and what an honor to be a part of a television series that I really pray inspires people and gives them hope. You guys know that I'm very transparent about my story of losing it all and literally going from 7 figures to scraping up change. And when I think about where I was on March 9th, 2009, on that bathroom floor, balled up, asking God, why me? Feeling very hopeless and helpless, feeling like no one would understand, just afraid and ashamed and guilt and embarrassment and all the things. I didn't know what I didn't know. So if there were resources, I had become so accustomed to suffering in silence, it wouldn't have even occurred to me that there was help available. So as I thought about participating in this show, I literally felt like, wow, had I seen someone getting support in this way, I would have known what was possible for me. And that is why I said yes to Opportunity Knocks, because this show, so let me just walk you through it. So it's not just myself as a financial coach. There's also Jean Chatzky, who I absolutely adore, someone I've watched on the Today Show. She was the financial editor for the Today Show for 25 years. And she is also a financial coach on the show. And then there's Luis Barajas. He was the first Latino to serve as director on the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards. I mean, he's just a rock star, especially in the Latin community, and myself. So there's the three of us. And essentially, we get paired with 2 families each all over the country from different backgrounds. And all of the families are struggling with debt and other financial issues of some kind. And so we come in and basically just help them take control of their finances. And, for me, big thing was mindset and helping people change their behavior. But we give actionable advice and we give tools. But what was so different about Opportunity Knocks is that we also connected our families with community resources. And this is why I wanted to just share with you guys, so that you didn't look at this as like, oh, well, Patrice is on it, so I'm going to, support her, or thumbs up or love or like it. But why I really think it's important that you get behind it and be a champion or advocate for just passing this information along, because what makes Opportunity Knocks different is, yes, we go into those families' home, we take a look at all of their financial life and help them break it all down so they can build it back up. But, on a lot of shows, you go and you help people for this limited amount of time and then you leave, right? And that's it. And for any of you who are content creators, especially in the finance space, but with anything, we publish things, we record our podcast, we hit publish, we write our blog posts and we hit publish, we post things on social media and we put things out there, but that doesn't always mean that people know what to do next with it. So we give them an introduction to a concept, an idea, a philosophy. But if people can't necessarily afford to work with us, then they're still out there possibly floundering in whatever it is you teach. And what was so special to me about Opportunity Knocks was the fact that even for the viewers, you get to put your address or zip code in to the Opportunity Finder tool that is integrated with this show, and you can locate and schedule appointments with local organizations in your backyard that will help you get ready for when opportunity knocks, right? So it doesn't matter if you need free citizenship, legal advice, or rental assistance, or you need to reduce interest rates on your car or your home. Maybe you're in stuck in a predatory loan that you need to have eliminated. Maybe it's just a home ownership workshop or a resume building course, or you need to apply for a small business loan. Literally, this is populated with organizations all over the country, local and national organizations that can support you. And again, when I think about being on the bathroom floor, I just needed to know that there was some place to go. I needed to know that there was some place that I could go and ask for help and not feel so judged and so ashamed and so embarrassed. And letting people know that there is help is what makes this different. So you're going to watch the show. You will follow these 6 families and you will see not only the advice that we give them as financial coaches, but then the tangible support that they get from the nonprofits and the CDFIs, community development financial institutions, right in their backyard. With one of the families that I supported, and I'm not going to give away all the good stuff, but I supported 2 families, a single mom named Michelle down in Tampa. And then I also supported Charles and Tiffany. They are pastors down in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Completely different backgrounds, completely different challenges, just being in different parts of the country. One of them, I'm not going to say which, because you need to watch the show. One of those households was able to save $800 a month with the support that they received from their local CDFI. Save on, car insurance, change their whole living situation. Like, so many things came out of this show, so many takeaways. And I know that if you watch the 6 families, you will see yourself or see someone, a family member or coworker or friend in these families. You will see them represented. And I think representation is so important, because if they could get help, it lets you know that help is available to you as well, right? And the needs of a family in Lake Charles, Louisiana, who was hit by storms back to back to back, right, in the midst of COVID, really different than the needs of a family living in Los Angeles, where we know that rent is sky high. There's different needs in different places, and that's why it's so important to get connected to resources in your own backyard, right, where they understand your unique challenges. And that's what the Opportunity Finder does. So that's a little bit about the show. Opportunity Knocks is distributed to PBS stations all over the country. So the reason it's been a little difficult for me to tell you guys what day and what time it comes on is because it literally comes on at a different day and time based on where you live. So you'll have to look into your local PBS station to figure it out. But also, if you are already a member of PBS, like they have their own national membership, PBS Passport, that's their streaming service, is kind of like their Netflix. It's already streaming on PBS Passport, so you can definitely check it out there. And then let's see, all across the country, beginning this week, You can start to find it on your local PBS station. And if for some reason you don't see it in the lineup, you better request it. Opportunity Knocks. Let them know that you want to see it. And you'll be able to catch the episodes over on opportunityknocks.net for free. So you can still follow along each week if you just want to go to the website. But you want to go to that website anyway, opportunityknocks.net, because that's where the opportunity finder is. And again, if you're just looking for resources in any form or fashion, even the small business and resume writing support, any type of resource you need, you will likely be able to find it. And they are populating more and more organizations every single day. When I started podcasting, I had nothing. No fancy equipment, no cover art, no theme music. I just had this burning desire that I was supposed to use my purpose of helping people redefine wealth in the podcasting space. And so with some intentional planning, I launched what became the Redefining Wealth podcast in just 3 weeks. That was 4 years ago. And today, the Redefining Wealth podcast has over 9 million downloads. We've interviewed everyone from celebrities to entertainers to authors and thought leaders. We've been featured everywhere from Success Magazine to Cosmopolitan and even Good Morning America. Now, why do I share all that? Because I'm not special. The truth is, this started with leaning into my purpose and being willing to use my voice in a powerful way. And I bet that there's something that's calling you as well, something that you need to use your voice to amplify in the marketplace. So I want to help you do that. If you're finally ready to use your voice and launch a podcast that aligns with your purpose, I want to invite you to check out my intentional online training, Podcast with Purpose. You can find out more details at podcastwithpatrice.com. That's podcastwithpatrice.com. Your purpose deserves to be amplified, and I want to help you do that. Again, why is this so important? You may be in a very evolved place. Let's say you are an OG listener and you have been with me for many years from the Real Money Answers days. So you've paid down the debt and you have excellent credit and you are savings goals. You are all the things. Just because you are, that doesn't mean that the people around you are. Even if you have it all figured out, I really, really want to encourage you to still share about the show with people that you know, people that you love, anyone that you hear who is struggling, because the resources are real. The support available out there is real. And oftentimes, when you are not in the best financial place, and I don't know about you, but I'll raise my hand, as someone who found themselves in one of the lowest times of my life, your brain is so cluttered, you literally don't have the capacity to think beyond how you're going to survive that day. Every day is like a how do I just survive the day? And if someone would come along and just throw a lifeline, just throw a lifeline. You know all those family members that are always asking you for money? Direct them to the resources. You know, when you hear or see things on social media where someone is talking about being out of work or how high their housing is, or inflation and how high everything is and all those things, send them to opportunityknocks.net. Let them know that this is a safe space where they can probably get an appointment or get a list of resources in their community that they can at least start with. So don't listen or watch the show and think, well, I'm beyond this and I'm above this. It's like my first grade teacher, Ms. Boynton, used to say, when you know something, you have a responsibility to share with friends. I'm sharing this with you because I genuinely want your support in spreading the word about this show. Not for the sake of ratings, but for the sake of souls. Like, there are real people. I was one of those real people. You may be one of those real people right now, but we all definitely know real people who need these tools. They need these resources. They need to get connected to real support. And I can't do that by myself. There's way more of you than there is me. And I'm going to be sharing about it quite a bit, but I would love for you to share as well. Um, I've been doing a lot of interviews, right? Talking about opportunity knocks. And the other day, someone said, well, what do you expect to get from this show? And you know how I feel about expectancy, right? So you've heard me talk about this before, that I like to wait with expectancy, right? And waiting is still active. So waiting is also walking in expectancy, is about heading to your destination and just trusting that everything will work out for the greater good. The only thing that I expect, there's no perfection. There's no, oh, I hope I'm going to get all these things. I just want to get about 100 people in my DM saying that they got something from that opportunity finder. I just need y'all to spread this word so much and tell people how you heard about it, or they can tell you and you can pass it on to me. But hey, I was able to reduce my car note. Oh my gosh, like I was able to reduce my car insurance, or I finally am going to be able to buy a home, or I got my business plan done. I just want to hear testimonies. I have no attachment to what this may do for Patrice. Although I expect God to blow my mind every day. So that goes without saying. But I don't have an attachment to what this show can do for me. I literally participated because of what I believe this opportunity finder can do for others. That was it. And I just want DMs of people with success stories and testimonies. If someone says I saved $100 a month, or I saved $1,000 a month, or I was able to do this thing or that thing that I never thought was possible, then it was well worth the effort. It was worth leaving my child at home to go and film. It was well worth all the things associated with participating in this. Right? So I just want to say thank you in advance for the love and the support, because you all believe in redefining wealth. These folks found me. And as I always tell you, there's always someone watching you who has the power to bless you. But who are they watching you be? And I've had the pleasure of being and continue to just become someone who is sold out on the idea that we can be well and do well and have well, especially when we're committed to telling the truth, right? And just supporting each other. That's what my programs are all about, like the support, the sisterhood. To me, this is just an extension of that. And I just want more people to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel supported, to feel loved. And I get to actually believe that because of how this community continues to show up. So I thank you in advance. I appreciate you in advance. Opportunity Knocks will be on your local stations this fall or winter. Continue to look out for it. Continue to share. And when you hear someone struggling or suffering, don't forget that this is a tool or resource that you can pass on to them and hopefully be a blessing and an extension of this good work that we do here. So that's all I have today. I am genuinely excited for what this is going to do for families and people in the community. And I give it all to God. Whatever happens, I just pray that people are blessed. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. So you guys, I'll be back next week with a full episode of Redefining Wealth. If you can't find Opportunity Knocks in, your local PBS network, don't forget that you can ask them, you can email them, you can tag them and let them know that they need to pick up the show. And as you are watching, wherever you're watching from, please take little videos and tag us, tag me in social media, Seek Wisdom PCW, so we can just continue to get the word out. I would truly, 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 truly appreciate it. That's it for me this week, you guys. Until next time, I want you to go live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever feeling like you have to chase money. I'll talk to you later.